Hello students, this time for class 11 I am going to summarize the story Mother's Day by J.B. Priestley. The play has 5 major characters in all. Mrs. Annie Pearson, her husband George, their son Cyril, their daughter Doris, and her neighbor Mrs. Fitzgerald. The action takes place in the living room of the Pearsons' house in a London suburb. It's afternoon. Mrs. Pearson and Mrs. Fitzgerald are neighbors. Mrs. Pearson is a pleasant but worried looking woman, fond of her children, although they treat her like a domestic slave. Mrs. Fitzgerald is older, heavier, and a strong woman. She is a fortune teller. She had learned that art in an Asian country where she had spent 12 years. She smokes, drinks, and also plays cards. So there are two characters in this story, both are on different point. One is of mild nature and second is of very hard nature. The two ladies are seen together as the curtain goes up. It's Mrs. Pearson's house. She tells her problem to her neighbor. The children, Doris and Cyril, are grown ups, but both are selfish and thoughtless. They work in some office, but soon after coming back home, they are in a hurry to go out to enjoy themselves. They demand tea and other services like the ironing of their clothes. The weak, doting mother feels hurt but dares not have her say. Even her husband George doesn't think of her considerately. So, in this way, children are dominant upon mother. The mother has blind love for the children. She is not daring to control her son. How to live life on her own terms. She advises Mrs. Pearson also to be strong and become the boss of her family. She must not run after them or take orders from them. Such a service will only ruin them. Husbands, sons, daughters should be taking notice of their wives and mothers and not treating them like dirt. But Mrs. Pearson hates unpleasantness. She is too weak to take a decisive, strong step. She agrees with her neighbors, but she can't promise to have it out with her family. So, one side, the neighbor Fitzgerald is very bold. She asks Pearson to be bold to avoid such orders of the children's husbands or family members. But Mrs. Pearson is very mild. She is a kind hearted lady. She thinks that it would be unpleasant for her to treat hardly with her children. Mrs. Pearson, in her new incarnation, smokes a cigarette and lays out the cards for a game on the table. Doris, a pretty girl in her 20s, bursts into the room. She is a spoiled child. She demands two things from her mother: the ironing of her yellow silk and a cup of tea. D. She is in a hurry to go out with her boyfriend. The mother refuses to do any ironing. She downgrades Charlie Spence. She condemns the yellow silken dresses. So she wants to be bold, but she is not successful in her mission. She calls Charlie a man with buck teeth and half witted. Doris is in tears and she runs out. After a moment, there comes Cyril. He also demands tea from his mother. He is annoyed to hear a no from her. He also learns to his dismay that his clothes have neither been laid out nor mended. He wonders if she is unwell. He also wonders why she should refuse to serve him and talk to him harshly. His mother explains that she too needs a weekly change from her routine. So, for some times, Mrs. Pearson has changed herself, but sons are not willing to accept such type of treatment by her mother. Doris enters the room. She is now wearing a wrap. The mother tells her that she looks terrible. Doris out. The brother and the sister start talking in whispers. Doris tells Cyril that mother had been smoking and playing cards. She is altogether changed. Perhaps she has hit her head and become balmy. Both wait for their father eagerly. The mother chides them for their silly and loud laughing. So, one side, the mother, Mrs. Pearson, is trying her best to avoid such orders, such action of the children, and on the other hand, children are surprised to see the changed action of their mother. The children are tearful again. They wish to know why the mother is so harsh with them. She replies that she too won't work for more than 8 hours a day. She is rendering a thankless service. She has decided to go to Clarendon for a meal. She too needs a change and she thinks she is old enough to look after herself. She is offended when Doris inquires if she had hit herself with something. She warns them to behave properly. So, the mother challenges the children that she would go to the hotel to take her meal. She would not iron her cloth. She would not do and astonishing the children. George Pearson returns home. He is about 50, heavy and pompous. He notices tears in Dory's eyes. He first wants to know why Dory is sobbing. Then his eyes bulge to see his wife sipping stout. He disapproves of drinking at the hour of the day. He declares that he wouldn't want any tea because he is going to the club to watch a snooker match and have supper. When Mr. Pearson came, he was also surprised to see Mrs. Pearson, who was smoking, and he told that he was going to join a club, so he would not take any supper that day. The neighbor who has undergone a personality change is, in fact, Mrs. Pearson herself. She is curious to know how things are going on in her house. When Cyril complains and shouts, the mother warns him sternly to keep quiet. She also tells her neighbor to let her manage her family in her own way. She reports that she is just putting George and two children in their places. The rough treatment will do all of them a lot of good. George enters. The neighbor addresses him by his first name, George. He takes offense, but Annie sees nothing objectionable in it. He complains that there is no tea for him, that he is told how to club members ridicule him, and that Doris is crying upstairs, and finally Mrs. Fitzgerald is addressing him as George. He asks his neighbor to let them be. His wife takes him to task for his bad manners. She tells him to go to his club. So the personality is changed between Mrs. Fitzgerald and Mrs. Pearson. Many people are reacted to see such type of behavior of Mrs. Pearson, but it was the familiar matter. He shouts and calls her Barmy, but Mrs. Pearson threatens to slap his big, fat, silly face. George looks at the two ladies in bewilderment. He wonders why the neighbor is addressing his wife as Mrs. Fitzgerald. He remarks that his wife is a little drunk. He is put out and speechless. Doris enters the room slowly. The neighbors ask her about her plan to go out with Charlie that night. She is offended. She asks angrily why Mrs. Fitzgerald is taking interest in her personal life. Mrs. Fitzgerald is was only to give the lesson to the family members. But after all, Mrs. Pearson is melting to see the face of her children. Anyway, she has cancelled the outing because her mother has made her feel miserable. Mrs. Fitzgerald tells George as well as the children to leave the room and let her have a private little talk with Mrs. Pearson. She assures that the outcome of the talks would please them all. The neighbor, Mrs. Fitzgerald, with the personality of Mrs. Pearson, now insists on changing back. She decides that the member of her family should not be treated so harshly anyone. Mrs. Pearson agrees to that. She mutters the same old spell and both became their proper personalities. Mrs. Fitzgerald advises her neighbor not to go soft on them again, otherwise, all her labor would go waste. Secondly, she must not give any explanation or feel sorry for the drama. A tone of being tough would work. She asks what Mrs. Pearson really wants her husband and children to do. Mrs. Pearson gives a list of her demands. They should stop at home for once, help her prepare and serve dinner, and play a game of rummy sometimes. She agrees to act on Mrs. Fitzgerald's advice and deal with her family with a firm hand. She smiles and they smile back. She now unfolds her plan. She asks for a nice family game of rummy. The children will get the supper ready while she will have talk with their father. All agree with her. She finally thanks her neighbor and bids her goodbye. As she walks out of the room, the family gathers around the mother. In this way, Fitzgerald was successful in changing the personality and giving lesson to the rude members of the family of Mrs. Pearson. Thank you very much. The story has gone to end.